Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of Lotus Tea Talks, where we shed our unique lights on current events while blooming conversations and elevating girl talk. I am your host, Arata Ma'at, and these are my other hostesses.
I am Aziza Afi.
And I am Chinya Ani.
Yes, and let's sip this tea, ladies.
Yes.
All right. But before we get into it, we want to definitely check in with our segment that we love to do called Bloom, Water, and Weed. And that's basically, Blossom, Water, and Weed. When that's basically our weekly check-in segment, right? Mm-hmm. Where we see how we're doing. What part of your life is blooming? What part of your life is needing some water? And what part do you need to just completely weed out and get up out of here? Okay? For me, I would definitely say that my personal business is blooming. I have my logo, I have my Shopify set up, and we're getting some not content, but we are getting some content coming soon. So, look forward to Lotus Body coming to a web browser near you.
Web browser.
Okay. What part of my life needs to be watered?
Because it definitely ain't that hair.
I know, it's blooming.
It's moisturized. Thank you. My hair actually has been thriving. I will say it's one of the blooming, blossoming things in my life.
Yes, girl.
I have not straightened her since.
Or colored her.
Really, the coloring is the biggest
that's
thing.
more you.
That's you.
Y'all know I love a bright colored head.
Yeah.
And I still may go ahead and put some red twists in, but it's not going to be my hair being colored, so we're all good. But yes, I've gone, 2-3 years now since I've colored my hair?
Yeah.
Really good.
Power to me. But yeah, parts of my life that need to be watered, I would say I will stop a nervous condition that apparently I have.
Because y'all can't see her.
Girl,
those who can't see her, she's swinging.
If you can't see me, I am going back and forth in the chair like Beyonce was rocking back and forth at that game when they thought she was crazy, right? Neither of us are.
She was in it.
But right, exactly. She could have been dealing with something. I clearly am getting over a nervous condition. I did used to bite my nails and deal with random anxiety things. So that is a fun fact, actually. I do not present it out to the public as having any kind of nervous condition. No one would ever really get that from me. However, if I tell you, you would probably see and then pay attention. Be like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, that is something that can be watered, and I will be working on just being more centered and breathing and being present in the moment and not thinking about the future, because that's usually where the nervousness comes from, is thinking about what is not happening yet.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
And what do you need to
the anxiety? And then what do I need to weed out? I'd probably say they're like one and the same. That's kind of something I'm working on, is just constantly just being present. Having charisma is what I like to call it. Being charismatic,
Yes, we love charisma.
Exactly.
Even though you're very charismatic,
Yeah,
but
you
even
are.
more.
And
even
definitely,
more.
I'm going to continue to work on being more charismatic, because I'm not trying to get anywhere in life. I am where I'm supposed to be.
Lovely. Yes, 3 snaps.
Period, poo. What about you, ladies?
Yes. Okay. Well, for me, Aziza Afi, I would say that I am, let's see, what's blooming in my life?
That bun. Let me stop.
That bun. It does.
My
The
edges
flower.
is blooming.
My edges are blooming. My hair is not failing me.
Like
Yes, and that's a real thing.
That's
You're
real.
physically, you are blooming.
You are real. So physically, I am blooming. I am physically blooming. I'm blooming in my recipes. Listen, the food that I've been
throwing
making,
down.
She's chefing it up.
What?
Talk about it, Ziza.
Woo! I'm a chef. I'm a chef. My spice
You
cabinet
better, I
is
am
on
a chef.
1,000.
I love
okay? It's really nice.
She do know how to season some food, y'all.
Yes, I do. So
They really both do.
that's that. Okay. And then what
wife.
needs to be, is it watered? What needs to be watered?
Yeah, girl, what needs to be watered in your life?
Okay, I really, really need to water using my ability to like focus my energy on manifesting something into things that I need. Like a lot of times my energy goes a lot into like me and time are very interesting. In the last episode I was talking about like
Not me and time.
don't
You know
laugh,
that thing
but
people
Sorry,
create?
y'all know what
Don't
that's
laugh.
just a really
No,
funny thing
because-
because it stems back to the previous
to
generation.
the previous generation. So
No, it's a
So
curse. It's a
all-
real thing.
So
it's a
all
real
I'm
thing.
trying to say, all I'm trying to say is that a lot of time you spend a lot of time wishing you had time
Right.
Yeah.
when
You
you
have
could
all the
just
time.
use the time you have to manifest what you're trying to get. That's all I'm trying to say. So that's really what I'm watering is the knowledge of knowing that the time is of the essence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's what you pour into the time
Yes.
Right.
that gives what you need. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's really what I'm trying to water is that knowledge of self, right?
Word.
And then what am I trying to weed? You know, let's weed out inconsistency.
Amen to that, sister.
Let's weed out inconsistency. Let's weed out incommitment. You know what I'm saying? Like inauthenticity, anything that makes you say, I changed my mind. Like, let's
You want to be
weed out.
decisive.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
get
I like
I
that.
get that.
Naturally.
For myself
Yeah.
and the people around me.
Okay.
And having integrity in the decisions that you make
Yes.
at that point. So
Yes.
there's
Exactly.
no having
I was.
to
I
change
that
your mind.
resonates with me too.
Yeah.
It's-
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's real.
That
is
is
so
real.
real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes we be saying yes in the moment, knowing that it needs to be a no.
You
Or
need
switching
some-
it,
maybe
or it's
time
a
to
no,
think,
and
or
you're
I
like,
need
oh,
some
but
time to
maybe,
think.
yeah,
Let me
or
get back to you.
exactly,
I need some
exactly.
time. Yeah, I
It's
need some time.
okay.
Let me check my calendar.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
that part.
So yeah. Okay. Sounds like we're thriving,
We are thriving on that end.
Give it to
blossoming
us,
and blooming,
Tree.
Let's
ladies.
see.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see what
Tell us
is
about it.
what is blossoming. I had it and then I lost it.
It's okay,
What
you'll
is
find it again.
blossoming? I guess I could just say just like owning my leadership, in a way.
yes.
Just understanding that.
Shout out to you for bringing us here.
Thank you.
Right? She got us this dope ass space.
Yes. So, just owning my leadership, that you know what you're doing. You got this. You've
Yeah,
been
you do.
training for
You
this.
really do.
You got this. You are prepared. Understanding
born
that
for
you are
this.
prepared. When preparation meets opportunity, that's a beautiful thing. And so just really standing in that and loving that for myself. So that has been great. And in just different avenues, like my little cousins have been coming to me so much these days, and like grown people are just like, what do you think? And I'm just like, me. But yes, me. I know.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you know.
so
You do be
that's-
knowing.
You know, that is the mantra or saying for the Libra. I know.
I know.
Like I balance, but I know.
Exactly. So so the I know, and just standing in that, and it's been great. And so one of the things that are blooming, I would say that I want to bloom more, is kind of switching my sleeping patterns, because you guys know I'm a night. I want to water I want to water my sleeping patterns. Excuse me.
She is a night owl.
Because I am a night owl,
Yes,
and
girl.
it's a little out of hand, you guys. I'll be up to 5-6 in the morning,
Yes,
looking crazy. So, with that being said, I really want to figure what that is. What are the deeper implications of why I'm up all
It's
night?
because you need to live in West Africa or
Right,
some
I was just
other
in another
place.
time
Time
zone.
zone.
You're in a different
That's
time
really-
zone.
yeah.
She's in the
I
wrong time zone,
really,
people.
And that's deep.
It's not
Yeah.
her.
I'm kind of
It's
rooting for
America.
that being the truth of the matter.
Yeah, and
but
that might
you
be
can go
because
ahead.
it's been a long time. So anyway, but yeah, so just wanting to get up, be a better riser, which I can rise if I'm held accountable to getting up early.
Yeah.
But it's when I'm accountable to myself that I'm just sleeping. So and I'm
I
here for
feel
rest.
that.
I'm here for rest, but the day is going, and I want to be up in the day
Yeah.
with the people.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I did say to you, it doesn't matter as long
Yes.
as you're able to be productive
In the
during
time that I
you
am
are
up.
awake.
Yes.
It does make it
Mhm.
a little harder to make communication with other people.
Exactly.
Because of the hours.
Exactly.
But as long as you maximize the time that you are awake,
That's true
You
too.
know?
That's true too. But I do
You
like
might
the
have
day,
that
like especially in the
crossover
summer,
period.
like you want to be up.
It's
Yeah,
a
for
shame.
sure.
Yeah,
It's
so
a shame.
exactly,
Maybe
exactly.
this was just a seasonal thing for you. Maybe. Since it's springtime now, the
Yeah.
sun is out. Maybe
Today
you're
was a
not-
good day.
I'm like
I was up
that
early
too.
today.
In the summer, like
Mhm.
I'm definitely like more about that
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
We were just in
Yeah.
hibernation, y'all.
That's true. So
What were you about to say?
I will,
We have
and that's
seasons.
another thing. So, and that is what I want to leads into my weeding out is just not being so hard on myself and understanding that everything
It's
is,
crazy.
you know, in progress
Yes.
and we're always a work in progress and just being able to love myself in the now because I just like, I think we're all three people that people often say potential, you just have so much.
Oh, girl.
That word
Oh,
drives
God,
me
that
insane
word.
because it's just like, honey, I'm doing it now. Like, stop, you know, so
Doing
just,
what I'm
and so
doing.
not
Ooh.
saying it to myself, not saying those things to myself and, you know, giving myself my flowers, my recognition as things are getting done, you know.
Yes.
So
She's a dope ass person. if
You're
you guys
very
didn't
dope.
Aw,
You
know.
are
thank you. I love
here,
these
you are
girls. So-
thriving, sis.
so yeah, so that's what I would like to weed out. Just, you know, that.
Wow, I resonate.
Thank you.
What? Lotus blossom blooming.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why we're the perfect reflections of each other because
Yes.
usually our reflections or what it is that we're dealing with internally are on very similar planes.
They
of
are.
But I'm just
reality.
trying to know, do they feel it though? I know y'all felt
The
that.
people feel it.
What?
The people
Did y'all feel
it.
that?
They do feel
because
it.
it was a word.
Yes.
It was a bar.
Mhm.
And she could have dropped the mic if she wanted to.
Because y'all know I got a few lines.
She does. I was
Next
saying
time,
that.
I'm
Give
gonna
that
rap
to,
for y'all
Fun
later.
Sex
I'm
with
gonna
Chi
rap
Chi.
for
Y'all
y'all
don't even know
later.
about
We
They
used to
that.
have a-
know about that.
Y'all don't even
We're
know
gonna-
about
we're
that.
gonna
Take
take
y'all
them
back
there.
to 2011.
That's for another episode.
Another-
Um,
Yo, we need to have a high school reunion episode where we just talk about just that stuff alone.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
vibes.
Okay. Yes.
Go into
Walking
this.
down memory lane for sure.
But
so
what are
our
we
topics
talking
for
about
today are
today?
pretty juicy, and I would say that in a literal way. Because we're gonna be talking about this here BBL epidemic, baby,
Period.
and the concept of self-love
Mhm.
and how it is, you know, there are two sides to that coin because there are people using self-love as a reason to get the BBLs. And then there are people that are saying that self-love is the reason that you should not be getting BBLs.
Mhm.
And so, you know, this is definitely a sensitive topic because we are talking about the appearance of women in particular. Let me be still. We are talking about the appearance of people and women in particular. And that is always a sensitive topic because we as women are always under scrutiny for our bodies and how we look. That is how we are measured in this society. This is a physical world that we live in. Obviously, our sight is one of our first things that attract us to one another.
Mhm.
So it is not based off of an evolutionary and a biological necessity. At the same time,
Right.
we as a society have perverted it to a point where it has become our only sense of identities. And it can have a serious psychological and physical effect on your health. Like it can become real serious. Just how you look and the way you want to be presented out there. And so that is how we've gotten to these BBLs.
Right.
Because, you know, plastic surgery is the way to go when you want to fix the way you
A
look.
quick fix.
Yeah, a quick
Mhm.
fix. Because sometimes
Yeah.
the gym ain't enough.
You know, it just hit me how real this conversation is because honestly speaking, like prior to this, like I know we talk about it and we've wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
However, I really felt like it was so superficial.
Mhm.
And the fact of the matter is like it is something superficial that we're talking about. But a lot of people try to say that, you know, it's just a superficial change. It's just my body. My spirit is just still the same.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's where the cross happens is like, you know, is
the spirit
the
the
spirit
same?
still
That's
the
deep.
same
That just gave me chills.
after you go
Word.
ahead to this. So
We're
like,
gonna be dropping
you know,
bars.
we're gonna get into that part.
Yeah.
What does it give you, Chi?
That's interesting what you just said about the whole spirit being the same because, you know, I think that yes, you come in this existence as a spirit, but then you go through life and your spirit kind of changes. Like
Yeah.
you know, so I think that when you get something like a BBL done, no matter the reason, or we could talk about that, but it to me it does change, because you're perceived differently now. Your energy has shifted now, and having several people very close to me that have gone through the procedure, and just having been in this industry where it's very hyped up, people perceive you differently. So even if you're the same inside, people see you very differently, and people send you different energy, because I'll never forget this one girl that I was working with. She was so cute, y'all. She was so nice and sweet, but she had a BBL, and it was so interesting how it brung out everyone else's insecurity around her. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Like, either, you'd have the girls that were like, oh, I want to get it too. Oh my God, her butt's so big. And so, or you'd have the girls that were just straight, just hating, like, so it's like, it's never a medium. It's never a neutral thing. And that's why I feel like it's so polarizing. It's such this, it's this thing, because it's like, it's such a spectrum. Like, either you hate it or you love it. Well, it is what it is.
So for us,
there's probably a very small
percentage, but I think a lot of people,
I would like to say for us, we are the small percentage,
right?
Because
We're in the middle.
I think all of us can appreciate and understand. Appreciation and understand are two different things,
right?
Yeah.
But I think that we can understand and we can appreciate where it's coming from.
Yeah. I just understand.
But I
don't think I appreciate, but I think I understand.
Well, me as a visual artist, like, for example, if I'm doing a portraiture of somebody and they honestly say to me, I want to be, portrayed in a different way, would I change it? I don't know. But like myself, like I don't think me as a painter would change it, but at the end of the day, like, if you as my client wanted to change it, what would I do about that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do about that? You want me to like make sure that, like, if I'm a photographer editing photos,
right?
Like, what do
How
I
far,
do about
like,
that?
exactly.
How far? Just like if you were a surgeon doing the work,
right?
What would you do about that? You know what I'm saying?
I put that in our docket. Like, when does it go from self-improvement to modification? What is it called?
Body
dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia.
No.
Mental illness.
So you have self-improvement, right? You have body modification
or mutilation. When does it become?
Then you have
mutilation.
Then you have body mutilation,
right?
And it's,
there are definitely levels to it for sure.
Right.
And what I would say, because you said we're like all in the middle, I would say I'm in the middle depending on what kind of plastic surgery you're getting. I know that there are different forms of cosmetic surgery for different reasons.
So I think we were talking about BBL right now.
Yeah. So for BBL, I'm not in the middle.
Where are you at?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, talk about it. About it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not in the middle. I really do. I'm on the side of self-love is the reason why you don't need it.
Okay.
Okay.
I get, like you said, that you can understand and not support.
I understand that.
I totally understand, because I understand how media has completely skewed our vision of what an acceptable body and what the desirable body standards are. And I don't think that is fair, nor is that healthy to the majority of humans on this planet. And so I don't believe that you need to go get a BBL to make you feel better.
Okay.
Granted, at the end of the day, so maybe I'm like 98%, you got the 2% that is, at the end of the day, is your decision, and I can't make your decisions for you.
Yeah.
You're in your own body, you're in your own mind, and if it keeps you from killing yourself or killing anybody else or doing anything extreme, then go for it. But for me, I feel like there are a number of different ways and avenues that you can explore self-love without going under the knife for one of the most invasive and one of the most high mortality
it's the most dangerous.
Yes, the most dangerous surgery, and you're just getting it for some trivial things because rappers are rapping about it in songs, like dead ass. You have to really look at why you're actually doing this, because a lot of young ladies are scrolling on Instagram all day long, looking at the same prototype, body type.
That's being fed to them.
It's being curated. It's all curated.
So
they're all absolutely.
At the end of the day, it's kind of wild because, you have all of this being fed to you, of course. And it's trivial, but like let's talk about that. Like the early 2000s, big asses.
Yeah.
Like, you know, excuse the language, but that is the conversation that we're having. Like,
because BBLs were not popular when we were children. That was not a thing.
It's a
like when
thing.
you look back at those old videos, it's natural bodies.
Like look back at Aaliyah,
you may have,
all the
you
women
may have
that were
some
popular and
augmented
beautiful,
like breasts. You may have
exactly like the Pamela Andersons, and that was more so on the white communities. Like in the white communities, excuse me. Black women weren't just out here going under the knife just willy nilly. Of course, the black communities, we have our own reasons for doing what we do and not doing what we're not going to do. But at the end of the day, that wasn't something that was normal. And our bodies were oftentimes looked at as something that was hoish, something that was too provocative.
Right, sexualized.
Talk about it,
Over sexualized.
you was
because
born
I was
with a
raised
body,
in that time,
but
and I
you
was
were
born with
a
exactly.
body,
I was
though.
born with a curvaceous body, if you will, the body that would be considered
the prototype,
the ideal body, the
small waist,
Coke
big
bottle
booty.
shape or whatever, hourglass shape, and I'm grateful for that. Grateful for my genetics and all of that. At the same time, I was over sexualized as a child. That's completely inappropriate. It's not okay. And people thinking that I'm a stripper because I'm wearing a swimming suit and I am in middle school, that is a problem.
Right.
That is a problem.
So do you think that maybe some of like your past experience and having that quote unquote trauma maybe kind of influences why you're like so strong willed against, you know,
absolutely,
the BBL?
because I know
Because
that
you know
other
what it
people's
represents.
exactly. I know exactly how other people's opinions on your
Perceptions,
body
yeah,
are going to affect
influence
you.
you.
Right. And
Growing up as a young child, it just affected me. I was seeing other women who looked just like me though.
And you know,
and so I thought it was normal, but at the end of the day, we were still associated with strippers.
yeah, but at the end of the day, like, still throughout life, you know, once a man, twice a child.
Right.
You still have your inner child within you.
Amen to that.
So you are going through this augmentation to, you know, like change your body, but you're receiving the same connotation that people would have towards a child that had the same body.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, at the end of the day, like, you know, I kind of first and foremost look at the issue of if you have that 2% that says, okay, it's your body, it's your vessel, you can do what you want with your vessel, right?
Right.
However, how does your vessel affect all the rest of the world, and what does it bring out amongst the rest of the world?
Yeah, like what's your social responsibility?
First and
basically?
foremost,
Yeah.
yes,
Right.
first and foremost, your
Right.
social responsibility.
But we live in an
Like,
I me society. That's
that part.
not,
Come on,
That
talk about it,
part.
Chi-Chi.
No,
Talk
seriously.
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
because it's very serious because it is what's your social. You know, I agree with that, and like you tapped on the. You know, it is your body, but we don't even know how much this is harming their body. So it's so intricate. It's like a fog. It's like a facade. It's like social media where, yes, you see the picture, you see the body, it looks beautiful. It's nice. You see all these materialistic things that people are getting that is so quote unquote coming from that. But in my opinion, I think it's really the confidence that it evokes that it changes your
Exactly.
energy.
And
So
the
you attract different
acceptance
things and
that
now
it
you accept yourself.
Yeah.
So exactly. But
Maybe you do
If-
because still you might
you're
attract
still-
the same people.
exactly,
because
because you can't change the inside by changing the
and you don't
outside, because
think-
that's
right.
real too. But you know,
Exactly.
like I was gonna say, so yeah, so you know, you don't know what's really going on because again, being in that BBL community, I've also seen how it is affecting these women and they're just not talking about it. You know, a lot of people, you know, they don't talk about how it affects, you know, a lot of them having to get blood transfusions and having, you know, striking pains across their body. You
What's
know,
a blood transfusion?
a blood transfusion is when you have to take someone else's blood,
Because yours
stir
is
it up
too
and clean
toxic.
it, put it in your body because
Talk
either
about
you,
it.
because it's toxic or
Because
you don't have
become
enough
poisoned.
Because
because you
Right.
have become poisoned. So it is, you know, and I know this is very controversial and everything, but it is self-harm. It's really, it's not good for you. It's self-mutilation at the end of the day. So, you know, it's like, it's a give and a take. Like we always talk, it's a yin and a yang. So for everything that looks golden, there's a repercussion for that. Like
Right.
nothing comes free in this
always a
world.
cost.
So that's what my message, you know, do what you want with your body, you know, but just understand what this means. Like, yes, you might get the physical gratification that you want, but it's definitely going to affect you in other ways.
Yeah.
And it may not be today, it may not be in 5 years, but it's going to come full circle,
But
you know?
for some people, I can imagine the empowerment that is invokes when you can change yourself, when you have enough money enough time.
I think that's why it becomes addicting.
That becomes where you have the resources to change yourself. Yeah. That is empowering in and of itself. Yeah. Like when you talk about the fact that like you have technology and you know, at the end of the day right now, I'm completely in the middle. Right now, like in me speaking, right? That's where I'm coming from. Because at the end of the day, you can think about like, well, I'm empowered. I have the opportunity to have the money, to have the time to heal myself, to change my body, make whatever changes I want. Right. You can't tell me who I am or what I do, and I change myself. You have no idea. I can be whoever I want.
And it is empowering for a lot of women, especially when you see people that were obese, right? And then they lose all that weight, and then they have all this extra skin, and there's really nothing else you could do about that but, you know, get it off of you or get, you know, cosmetic surgeries like BBLs and like tummy tucks, or a woman who've had several children, right? And then they want to, so I guess it's like, where do you draw the line?
I think where we draw the line with BBL is because you can go to the gym. Is that the difference?
Yeah, that's to me. So
what's the difference between a BBL and, like, for example, it says any plastic surgery?
With your actual health or how your natural body would have ever been.
Wait.
BBLs have nothing to do with improving your health. Have nothing to do with improving your health or how your actual natural body would have been.
Versus other plastic surgeries.
Could improve your health. Tummy tucks can improve your health. Abdominoplasty can improve your health.
What?
Yes.
What?
These are different.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Because there are pregnant women or women who have had babies who do go under the knife because their abdomen literally split in the center. And they end up having hernias. So their organs end up poking through.
Repairing.
Yeah, so that's repairing damage. To me, that's how your natural body would have already been.
So it's not like just a straight vanity coming from a...
Exactly. This is straight vanity. Because you are not satisfied with the results that squats could have given you. At the end of the day.
So
the squats for me.
But hold on.
Waist trainer, because originally I wasn't really for waist trainers. I thought that was extreme and invasive.
But maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Because depending on what size you go, how tight you decide to do it, if you're doing corsets with metal ribbing in it as opposed to the plastic, which is more flexible, so it's not compressing your organs and actually causing issues internally, then that's one thing. But it's literally about the levels to this that we go.
So hold on. I just thought about the fact that when we were having this photo shoot and we were thinking about other things, Chi brought up the fact of pretty privilege.
Right. And I was just about to mention
privilege.
that.
So go ahead.
I was just about to mention that we are speaking from a place of privilege. You know what I'm saying? Because we have not had those experiences. I mean, me personally, having worked in nightlife and things like that, you know, when I started tripping, I was like, oh, I'm going to go get lipo, you know, but it would have just been from a strictly vain place. It really would have, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I would have had to admit that to myself. And if anything would have happened to me, I would have just been like, well, damn, Chi, you know what I'm saying? You did what you did because you wanted to do it. I'm too scary, you know what I'm saying? So I get that. And I do want to say, you know, it's kind of like that same thing where, you know, like, you know, not to throw us off, but like the colorism issue where like, I don't know what they're talking about, you know, to the dark skinned woman. I don't know what they're talking, you know, I don't want to be that person either because I do understand that like if you said, like the way you're exactly the way you're perceived to this world, the way you look can change your life tremendously.
Everything sometimes.
It's everything sometimes. Yes. North Avenue. I don't know if y'all remember this. It was some years back though that said attractive people get more jobs.
They do.
Or more attractive people get more jobs. And it literally just had these Model-S looking people.
That would have sent you straight to the doctor.
Looking like they were hired for some job in corporate America. And that kind of messaging is not necessarily wrong, but it's what we are considering as attractive because the imaging that went with it was a whole bunch of skinny white people.
So who are we holding accountable then? Let's count
the individual
Let's
or
count
the media.
Down. Hold on. Count them both down.
Right.
Count them both.
It's definitely twofold.
First of all, at the end of the day, you as your individual, you are responsible for the agreement that you made here on this earth.
Absolutely.
Okay, if it's your job to learn that you need self-love or learn that you're so powerful to change yourself, then that's one thing.
Right.
But media is not in the place to decide what that is
and
for
that's what
you.
it's doing. It's
not,
deciding.
but we've allowed it to be because as
but
humans,
media
we need
allows
to
you
believe
yes
in something. and we need something to give us
You
guidance.
need to believe in yourself.
Oftentimes, to take responsibility to have Coochie Chocolate is too much work.
Coochie Chocolate is self-determination.
Sorry, y'all. That was last episode. Y'all need to go back and look at the last episode.
Okay, but at the end
but
of
anyway,
the day,
self-determination. If you don't have enough self-determination to dictate who you are, of course you're going to allow the media, which is used through music and different very attractive and seductive art forms.
yes.
We know the story of Lucifer,
right?
And who
as
he
art
was in
is,
heaven.
that's what art is.
If y'all are Christians, y'all know he fell from heaven, but
Right.
before he did, he was responsible for the music.
And
so
the
if you
beauty.
really understand what's going on in the media, they are using the shit to control us and keep us mundane and real basic. And until we get that, we're never going to be extraordinary.
And at the end of the day, it's how they profit off of us, because you get all these surgeries and then you need all of these pills and all of these
maintenance.
things.
Every 10 years, you got to go get another one.
Exactly.
Every 5 years.
Yourself.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
the popular body image is changing.
On top of your mind being in some type of state, like, okay, fine. But fine, your mind is fine. You love yourself. You're in the agreement where your body is saying, okay, we're here to change ourselves. We're here to augment ourselves so that we know we're super powerful. The human mind can create any type of technology to change ourselves. Fine. That's fine. You're that person to show us that reality.
But
Fine.
how do we...
But at the end of the day, if you're not that person and you're the person that's sitting there thinking about, oh my gosh, I don't like myself.
Right.
I wish I would,
Exactly.
and it's really about your own self-acceptance. You have to accept that part.
Yeah.
You have to accept that it's your own self-acceptance.
Like, if you can ask yourself, honestly, would I still be happy without this? And your answer is yes, then that's fine.
But
to
for
me,
a lot of people, it's no.
Exactly. For most people, it's no.
Yeah, and you know, like we talked about in the last episode, we come from such an enriching foundation that is set on self-determination, that is set on self-love, and even we see the pressure and we see the outcome. So I could only imagine.
Speaking on her experience in the nightlife, I was thinking back in high school middle school when I was considering getting breast implants if I didn't have a C cup by the time I was 18. First of all, my body would not be really right. And then I also wanted rib reduction. One of my ribs I wanted
Janet Jackson is a goat.
Exactly. I fucking love Janet Jackson, but the rumor of her getting a rib reduced or taken away was like, oh, that's how her waistline is so small. So I'm like, oh, that's what's desirable.
Inspiring.
That's what's popular. And being a young, impressionable teenager, of course I'm gonna be like, that's what the boys want.
So that's what I need. And that's
to get.
who I'm concerned for. Those young, impressionable teenagers.
That's
those kids. You know, because even like Cleo was telling me, her second grade students are asking, "Do you have a BBL, Miss Smith?" So it's second graders. These are second graders.
Mind you, she has a natural body,
and she's another one with a natural curvaceous body. So that to me is. That's where the concern, and they don't know the difference. And a lot of them don't know that that's actually, so luckily they knew what a BBL was, but some children are looking at that and thinking that that's normal. And to me, that's important too, like knowing that this is fake.
And, now that you speak on that, I'm grateful to her for inspiring this conversation at this point, because at the end of the day, like, society is society. Our children are in schools 8 hours a day, and if you have your children in school 8 hours a day or influenced by anything, especially media,
and social media.
Social media, most of the time, you have to understand what's being fed to them.
Right.
So at the end of the day, okay, the responsibility now is on the parent. The responsibility now is on the teacher to say, love yourself, be with yourself, accept your body. Your body is going to change naturally. That's how it was intended to change. Yeah, anyone who doesn't appreciate that is not supposed to appreciate it. Like, it is what it is. If you sell your gold before it appreciates, that's on you.
Talk about it.
Like,
it's like wine, baby.
It's certain levels to this. It's certain levels to this. It's certain levels to this. If you stay in the mundane and you stay in the superficial, you stay in the three-dimensional, that's on you. That's yourself.
Yeah.
That's yours. That's where you're supposed to be. But do not allow yourself to sink down or go anywhere that's not authentic to yourself.
Right.
That's why I said, because some people are here to show you that I can transform on your ass.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people are here to say,
Shout
I
out to
can
Cardi B.
transform on your ass.
She sure did transform.
I will
on
transform on you.
this. She's fabulous.
Some people are here to show us that, though. That shit ain't no joke. Yeah. Humans are no joke. The way we will flip shit on you ain't no joke.
Okay.
But
let us know, Aziza.
But on the other dynamic on it, me being comfortable in myself ain't no joke either.
Facts.
Exactly.
And that's what it's all about, you know. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, like
it ain't no joke either.
I don't know if you all believe in God or what your spiritual beliefs are, but we created, right? We believe in a creative force. And
it's a creative
ultimately,
force.
That creative force had a very clear design for you as an individual when you were manifested. And so, if you believe that you are a co-creator as well, you chose the body that you manifested in.
Yeah, you did.
And so that's an internal struggle that I feel like is never going to end, which is what I feel like is a lot of people's hang up. Not going to get into the other types of surgeries that are going on, but there's another group of people that deal with a lot of psychological issues too because of the life-changing surgeries that they've decided to get. Mm-hmm. And there's a whole side of that conversation that is coming to light, but most people want to talk about the romantic, glorified, beautiful side of it that's liberating and freeing and brave.
And that's why I said every action has a reaction. Every light part has a dark part. Like, you know, so
that's universal law.
That's universal law.
That's universal law.
So whatever, you know, just like if you're completely famous and you got all this fame, but you can't leave your house because you can't do anything for yourself, you know, so it's always, you know, there's always a downfall to everything, you know, and a positive. So you just have to learn and do your research and, you know, to women out there that are considering, you know, getting a BBL, you know, we love you and we want you to love yourself. And, you know, we just want you to do your research and know what you're getting yourself into and really be one with yourself and one with God. And I always recommend people that have told me that they were interested in getting surgery, take time away from social media, take time away from the media to really know where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? So if this is a decision for you, make sure it's actually for you and not for the media and not for
your boyfriend
or anything else who's looking at the media or, you know,
man that's not even your boyfriend.
Exactly. For the internet, you know, so so just,
man.
Yeah,
that's real.
For sure. And it's definitely out of love. We are not trying to come from a place of judgment at all. Once again, this is just our opinions. We do recognize we are coming from a place of pretty privilege, if you will. We have been blessed with ideal shapes that society
or even minds and spirits that allow us to say, I'm going to just love myself and just take the time to see what I manifest into.
Exactly.
Now, at the end of the day,
because honey, my hips have been spreading, and if I would have, you know what I'm saying, did a little change, you never know how you could have, you know. So just give yourself a little time. And again, shout out to the children. You know, just wait. Like that's what scares me too. The young girls getting in at 18, 19, 20. You know,
time. And these men, hold on, I gotta speak to the men.
These men.
To the men,
Lord, y'all, we need y'all.
Stop it. Stop it.
Please.
Stop it. Please. You're not in a woman's body. You're privileged to appreciate a woman's body.
And that's
why do you have to sit up here and put all of these dictations on a woman's body? Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. You will be happy with the saggy titties. You will be happy.
I'm not playing with
you will be happy.
But do you really feel like a lot of it's coming from men? I really don't.
No. Chi-Chi.
It is?
I'm not going to say that it is or isn't, but at the end of the day, if I'm standing in a room with my man and he's listening to all
that music and
that's like
turning
big
his head
ass
to,
and I got her titties changed, got her ass fat and I make it change. Like,
and I'm not going to say that rappers are responsible.
Come on, but you have to be responsible for the things that you create.
A huge hand in that. Yeah.
Chi-Chi. Hold on, Arata. Sorry. Wait.
She's lit, y'all.
She is
Wait for it. If at the end of the day you are blessed with the gift of creating and invoking inspiration and change, do you
Mhm.
not think you have
No,
responsibility?
absolutely. They have so
why
much
are you
responsibility.
sitting up here pushing things that you know
Right.
are causing people pain?
Right. That's
deeper-
true.
That's a deeper
That's true. But I wouldn't
story.
say my thing is
We
I
don't
think
have
it's
time
an
for
even playing field because even those female celebrities that are doing the same. I think, but
Yeah.
I think on a human basis, on like a personal people to people thing, I don't know that it's necessarily coming from men. I think that
It's a
they
fear-based
go on. I think it's just a societal thing. Like
think-
I don't think it's like men who are like, yeah, I'm not gonna f with her if she don't got a BBL. I think they might be attracted to it because they're gonna look at anything
Naturally.
that has a
I think
big booty and
it's
a big
kind of
boobies.
by proxy because it's more so. I know for me, when I get dressed, I'm not always getting dressed so that men are looking at me. Most of the time, I'm not. I
Right.
have a man, and I know he's attracted to me. So
Right.
a lot of the times when I get dressed, it's to
For yourself.
impress myself,
Right, but
and to show off my new fit to my friends, to my peers, to be like, hey,
Yeah, 'cause
sis,
she fresh.
you know I be stunting.
Pop-
I'm gonna show that I be stunting, and I look fabulous. I feel fabulous within, so I'm going to exude that same energy without. But I know a lot of women have said it's more so to stay in the running with other women.
Yeah, no
It don't
facts.
got shit to do with you, sir.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the most attractive woman, the woman that has kept herself up the most, kept herself up to trend, is mostly going to be noticed by those
Right.
For the
men.
superficial.
And so,
Right.
of course, well, it's for the superficial,
Or the
but at the
visual.
same-
It's a
the
visual
biological at
thing.
the
It's a
same
biological
time.
thing.
Yes, it's something that may be something very primitive, but at the end of the day, we are still animals, and
A part of
we
nature.
see
Quote, unquote,
things
right.
first,
Mhm.
right? We are mammals, if you will.
Mhm.
And so, first things first, we're gonna see what we like,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have a chemical response to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
No, that's true.
And
And, be attracted
naturally,
to
women
it.
are naturally curvaceous.
Mhm.
That is the
So the more curvy
the
is-
physical
Right. So making a
embodiment of
caricature
feminine
of it.
energy. Right.
Oh my
Sarah
God.
Bartman, talk about it, because they definitely paraded her around like she was a museum exhibit, and she was a
Say
whole
her name
beautiful
again.
human being. Sarah Bartman. Go look
Look
her
it
up
up.
if you don't know. So, that being said, we just pray that you all found this message in love.
Right.
I know it could be intense. That's why we preface this episode with, this little sensitive topic. We understand this may strike a few nerves, and we pray that it just is able to marinate in your spirit, and that you are able to find some light in this and understand that ultimately, no external changes are going to fix how you feel inside.
Right. And, those who don't have BBLs looking at girls with BBLs, it's not a picture perfect thing. It's not a one fix all. They're still going to have challenges in life. They're still going to have, they're still going to lose men. They're still going to gain men. People are still going to cheat on them. Like, those are human things, so you can't change those things by just changing a body. So we have to keep perspective on how much that actually is changing us. Because yes, you could change your physical, but you can't change your internal.
Exactly.
And, and just spread love. If you can't understand it, just try to love them, love them and send them
Exactly.
goodwill. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Stop with the judgment.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, people are
Because
spending
I
their
saw a
time.
booty the other day. I was like,
Yeah.
Let's stop making a
they're-
spectacle
but
about
they're spending-
anybody's
Yeah,
body.
stop
Like
making a
natural
spectacle about
bodies too.
anybody.
Let
Right.
people
Natural
just
bodies.
be.
Stop with the judgment and just try to understand. But at the end of the day, understand yourself.
Absolutely.
And on that note,
It
I'm
has been
gonna let you guys
another-
close us out.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you all again for joining us for another episode of Lotus Tea Talk. We hope that you all have enjoyed sipping this tea with us today. And before we leave you, we want to leave you with another petal of inspiration. And so basically what we're leaving you with is that you are not a mistake. You are not a problem to be solved. Each woman's body demands to be accepted on its own
Terms.
excuse me, terms. I was looking away.
Yeah, time and terms.
Time and terms on its own
Yeah.
time
Right,
and its
time
own
and terms, because
yes.
we're growing, we're developing, and at the end of the day, this is a lifelong process, not something that just happens
It's a
instantaneously.
journey, not a
marathon.
marathon.
Ashe.
Wait,
Not a
okay,
sprint.
opposites.
Ashe.
Yep. All right.
So yes, thank you all.
Mwah.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. We're out.